We got a party going for today. The Commodore Amiga has turned 30 years old. 1985. Coincidentally, guess who else is turning 30 years old? Born in 1985, moi. It's less than a month away. When we get old, it sucks. When the computers get old, apparently it's a great thing. Anyway, I did not come prepared. I do not have a birthday cake. I do not even have a birthday candle. I looked everywhere for a birthday candle. Could not find one, so we're going to make do. Gonna get a regular candle, get a good old-fashioned lighter here. Hopefully we can start this sucker up. Yay! No cake, but we do have a cookie. Cookies are better anyway. This will fit in the disk drive. It's perfect. So, Commodore Amiga. It's a wonderful, fantastic machine, which I grew up with quite a few systems, including the NES. I had an NES and the Amiga at home when I was a wee little one. And to this day, although I have great fondness for the NES, nothing will ever compare to this baby. Ever. This is the first love of my life. And it's the only one that's stuck around. So, we have lots to thank the Amiga for. It's fantastic. Yes. It's great. Anyway, let's sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy 30th birthday. Even though this Amiga is only 28 years old. Happy birthday to you. You blow out the candle? Blow out the candle, you beautiful Spanish-named girl. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. Damn, take it easy. So what better way to celebrate this beautiful occasion than doing a little retro review for you. In the store we got Little Computer People. Let's see how the people inside the computer feel about the 30th birthday here. They're getting old now. Little Computer People was first released in 1985 for the Commodore 64. It ported its way to several other systems, including the Apple II, and even the Famicom in Japan. Did not make it to the NES. It did not make it to DOS. It made it to the Amiga in 1987, also the Atari ST. And, of course, the Amiga version is the prettiest of them all, but I do have to say, though, even though I love the Amiga, I do have a little more fondness for the Commodore 64 version. There's just something about it I like, and as soon as I fix my damn Commodore 64, I'll review that at some point. One of the fantastic things about this game, and which was, I don't think, ever recreated ever again, was that each one of these suckers was individual in some way. And it's not just a serial number or something. They built these games from the factory to have like something different about each one of them. Every single little computer person, little sim, or whatever you want to call them, every little person you got was different. It's like, and I think for the Commodore 64 it was like, I don't know, like every 300, you'd have to have like 300 copies, and maybe even more, until you found a similar person. I think with the Amiga it was way higher, like 3,000 or something. I don't know. I should have looked it up. I don't know. Just think. High numbers. We all had somebody different. There's a million different things, and it is somewhat connected to the serial number, but it was like they wrote a track differently from the factory, which was like each individual disc was different because they did something in the factory to each individual disc to make it different. It wasn't just the serial number. Although nowadays you can modify the serial number to get different people. But they definitely messed with it somehow in the factory. So there's like a plethora of different, people you could have. The Commodore 64 has a little more love for that system because there's a utility to where you can erase your person and kind of get a new one, a randomly generated one. There's no such thing on any of the other systems, including the Amiga. In order to get something different, you have to mess with the serial number. They did a kind of a bullshit thing, which I was never a fan of. I'm never a fan of any type of game that tries to bullshit you when it comes to the reality of that world, especially on the box. Okay, it's one thing when you're playing the game, but when you read it on the box as if it's reality, I take great offense to that shit. And that's how they did it. The box cover says like, oh, did you know that inside your computer there's little people, and each one you can get. This is your house. This is. And in fact, the Amiga version, for some reason, calls it a house on a disc. It doesn't say little computer people. When you actually load the game, it says house on a disc instead of little. I don't know why it does that. But I think, yeah, it's like each individual one is a different house. So, yeah, in order to get a different person, you'd have to get a new disc. So, so if you really love the game, I doubt anybody ever did that, but yeah. Anyway, but the way they read it on the box was just, it's a terrible slap in the face to intellectualism. Oh, yeah, you can invite your little Sims or whatever. You can get them on there by putting this disc in or whatever. I hate when people do that. I also hate when people do walkthroughs like that. Oh, it's the worst thing ever. I digress. Anyway, you can get attached to these little Sims, especially my Commodore 64 one. I think that's why I like the Commodore 64 one. Is like I just happen to like the Sim I got for that one. He's, I just happen to like him. He's like this middle-aged guy with a mustache, and I don't know, I like him. And I haven't on the Amiga. I've had to mess with the serial number quite a few times because I keep getting people I don't like. And yeah, it's like I'm not gonna live my life dealing with some punk-ass kid. No, you're too old for that. You're too old for that, Amiga. You're 30 years old. You need something better than that. There's something about the 16-bit graphics that makes a lot of them look like they have attitude, which I don't like. This is a great game to just relax to it. It's like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and you want to play the computer, but you don't really want to play the computer. Just stick this in there and watch. And you can type things to it, you can talk to it, you can play games with it. It's very fun. The very first time you buy the disc or whatever, and very hard to come. You have to use a utility for the Commodore 64. You have to get the specific ADF file for the Amiga, that has the new image, in order to see the move-in sequence. But when they move in for the first time, it's like 15 minutes of time. He just looks around, peers around. It's very cute. Finally, when he gets him and his dog in, you get to have fun with them. It's fun. It's just a great game. It's a fun game. I don't know. It's not even technically a game, really. It's just, it's just a toy, I guess. It's not a simulation. It's not a game. I don't know what you would call this. Really. It's just, I don't know. It's little computer people. It's fun. It's a weird game. I like it. I think it's a great way to celebrate the Amiga's 30th birthday. My particular Amiga is 28 years old. I think it's a great way to celebrate the Amiga 1000's 30th birthday. My Amiga 500 is now 28. I will soon be 30. This game on the Amiga will be 28, so yeah. It's a great time all around to play this game. Let's take a look at it.
Alright, so you guys have been watching the move-in sequence for the last few minutes. This happens when you run the game for the very first time and only the first time, so if you want to see it again, you would keep a copy of that original ADF file, which is circulating the internet somewhere. Keep a copy of that. If you have the Commodore 64, you can run a utility, which is much nicer. But yeah, for the first 10-15 minutes or so, he just runs around, checks everything out. It's a very cute sequence, and it's cool to see. Just play the computer. And he's walking around, he's judging everything. Taking a look at the food. Closing the cupboards. For some reason he likes to open up all the doors and just leave them open. And then he closes them and says, okay, I like this place. Check out the drawers, yes. Well, some surprises in there for you, little computer person. I do have to say, I take some offense to their choice of only male characters. They got all these characters, all these different faces for them, all these different age groups, and there is no women. And I don't understand, even in 1985, why you wouldn't have done that. Computer nerds, are you serious? Computer nerds want to play as women sometimes, okay? Or they just want to observe. We don't get women, okay? We like to have women in our lives. We don't want to just sit there and watch a guy, have fun. No. Have the option of women. That would have been nice. And if there would have been women in this, I would have chosen them because women are more fun than guys anyway. Our little computer person has now decided that this house is up to his standards, apparently, even though he can't find any other houses in the Amiga. No, he's decided this is okay. He's got high standards, apparently, and he's judged our house. He likes it. He's gotten his things and he's moved in, and here comes our little doggy. Little doggy comes in. It's a cute little thing. He usually roams around and rests in all different areas, but you never see them interact with each other, which is, I think, a missed opportunity there. A nice petting him once in a while, that would be nice. Never interact with each other, other than giving him food occasionally. Anyway, so there are a lot of things that your little computer person can do. Right now, he is going to bring in some firewood, I think, all on his own. He's going to do that. He'll do things on his own. You can ask him to do things as well, and it doesn't necessarily mean he will. You can ask, and usually if you say please, it'll help a little bit. It's just, I think it depends a lot on your randomly generated character and what his personality will be, whether or not he's willing to oblige you. Also, if he's happy or sad, that's taken into account. This game, which came out in 1985, might be the first example of a virtual pet kind of thing. Tamagotchi didn't come out for over 10 years, probably 12 years later. The Sims obviously came out in 2000. I think The Sims got a lot from this one. I think Will Wright even admitted that at some point. Said he did get some inspiration from this game. There is some music that plays once in a while. Here's what is this one? I think it's Canon in D major. This is one of my favorite old tunes, symphony tunes. I really like this song. Now the Amiga, I would say, generally speaking, the music is not as good as the Commodore 64 in this game. This is the exception. This one is fantastically done. But I would have to say they do not have great samples. I don't even know if they're using samples for this game. They might be using the Amiga's built-in music stuff. But there's a piano there. You can play the piano, and it does not sound like a piano. The Amiga could do a very, very good piano, and that's one of the things that most impressed me about the Amiga from a sound perspective is the Amiga had, pristine piano. It could do. And it just sounds like a freaking electric organ or something. It doesn't sound anything like a piano. And the Commodore 64, they did a pretty damn good job with all of the music for this game in that one. I would say the occasional piece of music that plays in this game really helps the game out a lot. It's nice to hear some music once in a while. And a lot of PC games, even on the Amiga, which could do great music. People coming from the PC background with a little shitty PC speaker never bothered with the music, even when the Amiga that was there and they could do it, they didn't bother with it. So it's nice that this game gives you some occasional music. And this is a great song. Canon in D. That's just like there's a bunch of instruments, but all they do is they wait like 4 bars or something, 4 rests. And they start playing the exact same note that the last instrument played. So it's like row, row, row your boat, or somebody else jumps in later on. That's exactly all it is, and it's pretty amazing, how they do it with a symphony orchestra. So now I'm going to show you a little bit of the interactivity that you can do. You can say, please write a letter, and it really depends on how much of an asshole you have, if he's nice or if he's an ass. And you gotta sometimes do it right. If he's on the stairs and you ask him, he never seems to answer you. Like, yeah, so don't do it when he's on the stairs. Just wait until he gets on the floor before you press enter. In this case here, he finally answers us. He's gonna type us a little letter, and we can communicate. And there's a lot of things you can say to him, a lot more than even documented, and sometimes, you know, various responses. So it's 3:25 p.m., July 30th. Dear shots. You may have noticed, he's so slow, that I'm a keyboard freak. So this guy is he has a keyboard personality, which I would not have noticed because he has not yet played the piano. No, how would I know that? A good typist, but better at the piano. Well, you're not that great of a typist, I have to say, because you're pretty fucking slow. A good typist, but better at the piano. That's all. End of sentence. You don't need to say, you know, you don't have to add to it that, you know, than the typewriter. You don't have to add that part. You know, end of sentence after the piano. Tucker. So this guy's name is Tucker. And I cut ahead, so now he's gonna do that crazy canine of mine. They usually talk a lot about their dogs, and it really depends on their personality what they'll talk about. Some of them like food, talk about food. Some of them like to talk piano. Some of them like to talk about music or books or whatever. This guy, he likes the piano, I guess, and his dog. Yes. His house broken. I never see it leave the house, so I don't know. I don't know if it's so housebroken. I think you're cleaning stuff up when I turn the computer off. Here's the keyboard freak going ahead. Does that sound like a piano to you? Not at all. Yeah, it's like a freaking electric organ or something. The Amiga could do so much better than this. So this is not a piano at all. Like, I'm not a fan of this sound. Even the Amiga's built-in music could do better than this. They did not even choose the piano. Like, this is not a piano. They talk about piano, but they don't actually use the piano instrument. So I'm not a fan of this. Like, it just doesn't. It's not as good as the Commodore 64 piano tunes. But it's still, it's good in its own right. It's just not a piano. It is enjoyable to listen to, but when you know what the Amiga can do, and it, gives you that, you can kind of get mad. But anyway, here's some more ways to interact with him. You see, I can put a little hand there. You can press Control P to pet him, and they actually like that. I don't know. If I was pet by another human being, I think I'd be kind of pissed off. And I had the doorbell. I think I gave him a record, so that's Control R, I think. And that gives him a record. He's going to go upstairs and put that away. You can give him books. You can give him food, both for him and the dog. Fill up his water jug by pressing Control W. So here, I've decided that this particular little computer person, I'm not a great fan of. So I'm going to go here and alter the serial number here. And right now I'm looking at, somebody else did this online, and I transferred it to the Amiga. It's just a little text file, which gives you some basic rundowns about what will happen, if you change there's the first serial number, so that affects what they look like. He's middle-aged or whatever, and I think the second one's what color hair he has, and the rest of them, they don't actually seem to know what they do, but I just randomly put some numbers there, so, what the hell. Probably has something to do with their personality, but it doesn't, change any personal aspects of them, the way they look or anything. So here's my new guy. And, so he's got a little gray doggy, which is nice. I like the gray dog. It seems to interact better with everything. The brown dog seems to get lost in the, as a camouflage, kind of. So what's this guy like? I may have noticed that he is, what are you? You are a good, oh, don't say typist. If anything, like, none of you can type. Though I'm a bit slow. Okay, so that's all he says. You're a friend. What's your name? Warren. Yeah, Warren's the guy I stuck with for the rest of the video. I don't know if I like him that much, but And he doesn't seem to answer me either. Everything I ask him to do, he doesn't seem to fucking listen to me. Eventually, he did build a fire like I asked him to. But yeah, I don't know. For some reason, the 16-bit Amiga version just seems to have a bunch of assholes. You know, I want you to listen to me. This is a game, after all. Apparently, you know, do what I tell you to do. So, yeah. The time he actually listened to me when I said play a record. So, tell him to play a record. You can tell him to play the computer. I used to be in the Commodore 64 version. You could tell him to feed his dog. I've been asking him to feed his dog a million times, and he doesn't do it in this version. I don't know. Maybe he will on his own. Don't know. And you can play games. There are more games to play in the Amiga than the Commodore 64 version. And I think what do we have first? Anagrams, I think. It takes so long. He goes all the way upstairs and then comes all the way back down to play a game. So 20,000 LU, thus S. So it's, yeah, 20,000 leagues under the sea. I'm not very good with a lot of these word puzzle things, but I knew that one. Congratulations, what do I win? Absolutely nothing. So what did I give him here? Probably pet food. Yeah, he's gonna go to his dog here. Gonna put it in the container, and he's gonna put the rest in the fridge, and that's the exact same thing they did in the Commodore 64 version. But in the Commodore 64 version, you could say, please feed dog. He would go into his fridge and feed the dog, but they don't seem to do it in this one. So here, I wanted to show you, as he changed his clothes. It's the same guy, but he changed his clothes when I loaded this up. Anyway, this is the PAL, in PAL mode. This is what you guys are doing online. This is an NTSC game, but you're playing it in PAL mode over your emulators and your, real computers. And there I zoomed in on it because, in PAL mode, it's, even though it's a 4x3 in PAL mode, but it, puts it in the middle of the screen, so you can actually zoom in on it. And I think that's what a lot of people seem to like. They seem to say this is a great thing about the Amiga versus other computers. It's because, it has a wide angle. No, you're absolutely wrong. You're insane. All of these games, most of them, that had 320 by 200 resolution, which was the typical resolution of games back then, all of them were meant to be played in 4:3 aspect ratio. I'm going to do an entire video on this and about how everybody's doing it wrong online, but for this particular game, I just wanted to show you the upper left there. Yeah, that's in PAL mode. Bottom right, that's NTSC. I want you to particularly pay close attention to the computer monitors on both screens. Which one looks like a real computer monitor? Now, on the bottom right, that is a square monitor. That is what they looked like back in the day. Top left there, that looks more like a monitor from today. Now, unless the little computer people had a hell of an insight on the future, then I would say the top left is incorrect. And everything, there's so many things about the pictures that are wrong. There's the doors, the mirror, like everything looks incorrect when you compare it to the bottom right and NTSC mode. To my eyes, everything looks wrong, but the smoking gun, as it were, is the computer screen. Like, there was never a computer screen back in the day that looked like that. No. So, this is what they designed it for. They designed it to be stretched. So if you have an emulator, put it in NTSC mode. It'll run faster too, and this game does kind of run a little slow. You'd be surprised at how many games play a little bit better when you put them in NTSC mode because it runs faster. So if you have an emulator, you put that thing in NTSC mode. It's easy. If you have the real machine, you get a tiny piece of software that will switch it, and it'll do it. And it'll switch it. Like my computer is a PAL computer for compatibility's sake, but I have a little piece of software that I can plug in there, and it will turn it to NTSC mode. That's all you have to do. Please, for the love of God, stop showing these 320 by 200 games in widescreen mode. They should not be that way. That's a passion of mine, so that's why I talk about it a lot. And when I play a real PAL game, I will say how much better it looks. But no, this is an NTSC game. It is meant to be played in 4:3. So please, do that. And you're all guilty of it. So 4:3. Just like DOS games, just like Genesis games, these things were meant to be played on a 4:3 television. That's how they were designed for. Play them that way. So anyway, my guy's been sleeping. If you play this game at like 3 in the morning or whatever, a lot of the time he'll be just in bed or whatever. You hit the alarm clock, and he'll wake up. But this guy, he woke up a little pissed off a little bit. He went to bed happy, but now he's got a little sad face. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna wash his hands. I don't know why'd you go all the way downstairs just to wash your hands? You could have done that in the bathroom. He's gonna go. He's gonna have himself some breakfast here. Make yourself some breakfast. And he makes it very obvious that he's sad. He just every once in a while he looks over. You little crybaby. What are you so sad about? You have everything you could possibly want. If I had a little house, it's given to me. All the food stocked. I got pet. Everything's nice. You got a computer. You got a piano. You got the life here. And now he's gonna brush his teeth. Yeah. So there's quite a bit of things that they can do. A lot more than I actually show you. I know for a fact that they can take a shower once in a while, but I couldn't get him to take a shower. I even asked him to. He's gonna jump here. Do jumping jacks. Yeah. Quite a bit they can do. I mean, it's not huge, not like The Sims or anything, but yeah, fun. So, gonna play some music here today. I don't know what song this is, but I kept singing the Little Mermaid song. Kiss the Girl or whatever. Kiss the girl, sha-na-na-na-na-na. Don't look back, that song. So, I don't know. This game came out long before that movie came out. The movie came out like 89, so it's 85, so I don't know. Don't know what this song was originally supposed to be, and I'm sure it's royalty-free music, so it's probably old, so I'm sure Disney probably stole some stuff there. Anyway, enough of the music. It's now 2:37 a.m. and he's going to talk to me, and he's sad. So I want to ask him to write a letter if they're sad, and they might give you a little bit of info under why they're sad. He's worried. Just about starving. Oh God! Okay. He's in the bottom left. There is the cupboard, and there's room for 4 pieces of food, and he's eaten 2. He's got 2 left. He's got half of his food left, and he's starving. Oh, shut up. You got plenty of food left. So if that's why you're sad, you can remain sad. So, anyway, now we're gonna play a different game. We're gonna play some Blackjack. And I mean, they're not the greatest ever, but they're not terrible either. So logic in them is fine or whatever. It doesn't look that great, but looks better than the Commodore 64 version actually. But nothing special. If you win against him too much, he'll get pissed. So you gotta let him win every once in a while. Bit of a sore loser. But not this time. Not this time. I win this time. Yeah. Blackjack is the worst game to play with one other person. It's like, the dealer has certain rules they have to follow. That's a terrible 2-person game. As you see here, he has a green face. They can get sick. And I've let the food run out. It seems to take a lot longer on the Amiga version than it did with the Commodore 64 version, but eventually they will get sick, and eventually they will die. And so will the dog if it doesn't eat. They can die. When I got the Commodore 64 disc, originally it came with nobody there. He was just dead. You couldn't see him, but they did have a ghost pet, so it's kind of cool. You might want to let the pet die because you'll have a ghost pet running around, which is kind of cool. Anyway, in order to fix him, you need to just deliver him some food. Control F. So he's gonna get some food. He's gonna eat. He's gonna be better. So I haven't actually let them die yet, but I did get when I first booted up the Commodore 64 version. I did have a dead character. He just doesn't show up. But it's kind of cool that the pet will turn into a ghost. First thing he's gonna do is steal one of those pieces of food. And he's just gonna take it. He's not even gonna prepare. He's just, it's done. So that's how you make him better. Gonna pet him a little bit. He's still a little sad, so let's pet him. Oh, that's all it took. He's happy again. He just wanted some contact. It's 11:44 in the AM now, August 1st. Deer shot. Just a little bit too slow. Just a little faster would be nice. in this house, there's always... Oh... the water. I should do this like William Shatner. Oh, the water I need. And it's... healthy. To... drink lots of fluids. Yours truly, your friend, Warren. Anyway, so that's my review on Little Computer People for the Commodore Amiga. For its 30th birthday. Happy birthday, Amiga. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'm just going to point you to my last couple of videos. First one on Sword of Fargo for the Commodore VIC-20, a fantastic roguelike game. Best game ever made for the VIC-20, I believe, and great game for the Commodore 64 as well. And after that, point you to my Amiga Plus magazine cover discs, Finny, and Amiga Hawk, I think, yes. I go into I was trying to find some old games from my childhood that I've never been able to find all these years, and I finally got a clue. And I went through all these old magazine cover discs, and I found the games, and go on that adventure with me if you so choose. Hope you'll comment, rate, like, whatever. Subscribe if you so choose. Got a lot of new subscribers lately. Thank you to all of you. Especially make some shout-outs to some of the fellow YouTubers that have subscribed recently. Neonu9, I did it a couple months ago. Great channel. She hasn't made a video in a little while. Yeah. Time for some new videos, Neonu9. Rob, a.k.a. Maximum RD. I've been subscribed to him for like 5 years. And he hasn't made any comments or anything, but he did subscribe to me. So thank you, Rob, for subscribing. Lactobacillus Prime, Mark for here. He subscribed to me. He's made some comments. And thank you for subscribing. And I was gonna shout out Brian Davis, but he deleted his channel again. Man, you've gotta stop deleting your channel, man. You're good. You're good. You make some good videos. He had a new channel for a week, and then he deleted it again. You can't delete that. You gotta stop that, man. It's hard to find you when you come back. So stop doing that stuff. You know, I know you want to do it. I know you like making the videos. Stop deleting your channel, man. Just let it go for a while. I'm telling you, eventually, it'll build up. You'll get some subscribers. Come on. It'll happen for you. Anyway. Brian, you gotta stop. Anyway. Hope you guys like this all. I'll be back soon. See ya.